Hello, and welcome to another Success Martial Arts training video. So, in this video, we are going to be continuing our boxing series. So, we will be working on boxing combo number 3. So, throughout this video, I will take you through the basics and show you exactly what the combo is, what are the 3 punches in it, and just the overall basics of it, as well as how we add footwork so it becomes a more offensive combination. We'll also do it with our clock drill. And finally, the last part of this video is we'll show you how to work with this combo using a punching bag. So if you have a punching bag at home, you'll be able to train it, practice actually hitting a target. So stick with me and let's get to work. Boxing combo number 3. So this combo is typically, if you're in a real boxing match or a sparring match here in the karate school, this would not necessarily be a combination that you would use right away to attack an opponent. Typically, this combo would be that you're already in close to the opponent, and so you're able to come in and throw some punches and combinations. So this combination starts with our backhand by throwing a cross. And typically, if I'm far away from my opponent and we're just, getting ready to engage into an exchange, if I step forwards and throw a cross, a good fighter is going to be able to pop me on the way in, and it's going to make this a harder combination to use. So again, this one would normally be I'm already close to the opponent, and then this is a really good combo because it's 3 big power punches. So let's get into the basics. The combination itself is cross, hook with our front hand, and then last punch is going to be another cross. So again, 3 big power punches. So if I'm doing it at the camera here, so as I'm throwing these, we'll be working on both sides. So to start with, we're going to put our right hand behind us, so in our traditional boxing stance. And then after we do it a few times, we'll switch over to the southpaw stance. So I'm in my good boxing stance. So from here, again, the first punch is going to be the backhand. So I'm going to do that cross, going straight out, pivoting that back foot, coming all the way out, throwing the punch at my opponent here. And then now with my shoulders rotated, this hook is going to be even more powerful. So again, I'm going to pivot my front foot this time. So as my cross is coming back, my hook hand is going to start to extend, and it's going to hit my target and come through. Remember, my elbow should be pointing at my target after I've thrown the hook. Then I'm going to pull this arm down as it's turning back. I pivot back out again, and I finish one more cross, and then I'm going to reset into my boxing stance. So let's do that one more time on this side, then we'll switch and we'll take a look at it from the other. So from this side, one more time, starting out with that backhand, that right hand. I'm going to throw that cross out, pivoting that back foot. And then as I'm pulling my cross back, I'm going to go with the front hand hook, turning my hand sideways, attacking right towards the chin of my opponent. I hit the target, pulling that punch through till my elbow's pointing. And then as this arm drops and starts to return, I'm pivoting back out and then throwing my cross one more time, and then coming right back into my boxing stance here. Now, if we switch sides, we go to what's called the southpaw stance, which means my left hand is behind me. Now, it's the same combo, but my hands switch jobs. So this hand now is going to be the 2 crosses, the first punch and the last punch. And then this hand is now going to be that hook, that second punch in the combination. So again, I'm in my big, good boxing stance. Got my left hand behind me this time. So I pivot my new back foot as I throw my cross out. And again, this hand is up. You see it's here shielding from any attack that my opponent might be throwing at me. My shoulder is up, protecting my chin on this side. Then, as this hand pulls back, my hook is going to come out. I'm pivoting with that front foot, hit my target. My hand is flat, comes through until my elbow's pointing at that target. Drop the elbow, starts to return. I'm going to shield again with this hand as my cross comes back out, lifting that shoulder. Good protection, even on my offense. Then my punch comes back into my good boxing stance here. Once again, one more time. And cross, shielding, tucking, pivoting, go into the hook, hit the target, pull it through. Again, shoulder is up here, protecting my chin. My arm is shielding, brings it down, comes back out, throwing my good cross here. Comes right back into my natural stance here. Now that we've gone through the basics, what we want to do is add the footwork to it. So there always is going to be a scenario, sometimes in sparring matches, where the opponent really isn't moving away from you while you're punching, or maybe you're using this as an attack when they're coming in on you. So there are going to be some times where I can throw this combo while staying in place. However, most of the time, even if the opponent comes at me and I throw my cross at them, they're not just going to stand there while I'm using the other two punches. So most of the time, they're going to start backing up and trying to get away from any attacks that I'm throwing at them. So I have to know how to move forwards with these combos, not just combo number 3, but all of our boxing combos, so that way we can actually be offensive with them. And then later on, you also want to learn how to do it while you're backing up, so that as I'm being attacked, I can move backwards while throwing these combos and doing it, be able to attack while I'm retreating. So today, though, we're just going to look at the offensive side. So the first part, when we're doing it just as the basics, that's called defensive. So I'm not moving forwards or backwards. I'm staying in place and I'm using my attacks to create a good defense. Retreating is when you're moving backwards while you're punching. And then right now, we're going to look at how do we move forwards while we're doing these punches. So if I'm set towards this way, so we're going to do this traditional style, and I'm just going to do it kind of like you're in class. So you're behind, watching the instructor and following along. So we always start with our good attention. We bow, and then we're going to get into our boxing stance, going to the left, which means my right hand is going to be behind me. So when I do this one, again, defensive is throwing the punch, throwing the hook, throwing my cross, and then coming back. And again, I didn't move forwards or backwards. So now I want to move forwards as I do this. So the basic footwork of this is going to be, I'm going to go step with my front foot first, and then as my back foot is catching up to the front foot, I'm going to then throw the cross and pivot. Now from there, I'm going to step my foot together and step out as I pivot into my hook. And then from there, I'm going to step and pivot as I do my cross. And then I pull back into my boxing stance and I reset. So let's do that again. So again, I'm moving forwards, just using my basic push step on each one of these, but I'm just adding either a pivot with my back foot, pivot with my front foot, pivot with my back foot. So again, going through the combo, my hands are up. I'm going, first one is I step and pivot as I cross. And then I'm going to step and pivot as I hook. I'm going to step and pivot as I cross. And then I reset. So going to the other side. So from here, when I turn, all I'm going to do is move my hands and my eyes. My feet turn a little bit, but I'm not stepping. And now I got my left hand in the back and I'm facing towards our right here. So once again, following along with me, going through the combo by itself. So stepping as we do it. So we go step with the front foot, step up with the back foot as I pivot and cross, and then I'm going to step and pivot as I do my hook. So step and pivot as I do my hook, and then step and pivot as I do my cross. Reset and shuffle back. One more time. We go step, step and pivot as I cross, step and pivot as I hook, step and pivot as I cross. Reset, shuffle back. All right, so doing this to give ourselves a little bit more of a natural feel to it, we are going to do what we call the clock drill. So if you are a student and you worked on the boxing combo #1 or the #2 video, we had the clock drill in there. So you probably already know what we're doing, but some of us are brand new to the classes and maybe this is your first combination that you're learning. So give a quick explanation of the clock drill. Is what we want to do is kind of imagine that we're standing on the face of an old school clock. So what we got is we're standing in the middle and we got 12 in front of us, and then we just work our way around the clock. So 1, 2, then 3 is on the side here. Then it keeps going 4, 5, 6 is right behind me where you are. And then it keeps going around 7, 8, 9 is on the perfect side of me over here. And then we got 10, 11, and then we're back to 12. So the way that this combo works is doing it as the clock drill is it gives us the chance to work through either a defensive combo, a retreating combo, or offensive combo, but do it in a way that would be kind of more useful in a sparring match. And it gives us a lot of repetition and really allows us to do the combo over and over again, get really good at it, and have some extra benefits later on when you start sparring. So we will do the clock drill with both stances. So our traditional stance with our right hand behind us, and with the southpaw stance where the left hand is behind us. So we're going to start in the traditional stance. So your right hand is behind you, belly button and belt knot are going this way. Our hands are up. So we're looking at the 12. So every time we complete the clock, we will do 5 combinations, once to 12, once to 9, once to 6, once to 3, and then once again to 12. Sometimes we go this way around the clock, sometimes we go this way, but we'll always do the number 12 twice at the beginning and the end. And then depending on whether we're going this way, we'll either go to the 3 first or the 9 first. But the other numbers, 3, 6, and 9, we will only do a combination that direction once in the completion of the clock. So we are going to go this way first. So we're going with the offensive combo. So we're going to do it a couple of times, one time slow, and then we'll do it a couple of times a little bit faster. And we'll do that on both sides. So from here, what we're going to do is the combination going to go offensive. So what I'm going to do is the step and pivot as I cross, step and pivot as I hook, step and pivot as I cross. From there, as I bring my cross back, what I also want to do is swing my foot behind me a little bit so it swings around, and then now I'm facing to the side over here. Now we do the combination again. So I'm going to go step and pivot as I cross, step and pivot as I hook, step and pivot as I cross. Now again, pull the hand back. My foot is going to swing behind me, just that quarter turn. So now we're facing the back wall. From there, once again, same combo. We go cross, hook, cross. As I bring that hand back, I'm going to turn. Now I'm facing the 9. And I go once this direction, and cross, hook, cross. Pulling that hand back as I pivot, facing back towards our 12 again. We do it one more time. Cross, hook, cross. And then we would shuffle back. Now, if you're doing this, usually if you're doing the clock drill, I suggest you can do it two different ways. You can keep going for a certain amount of time. So say you go for 1 minute and do it as much as you can. So in that case, once we did the 12, we would just right away turn, go to the 3, then to 6, then to 9, then to 12, and repeat it. Or you could do it for a certain number of times. So when you get back to the 12, that's 1. You could say do 5 or 10 in a row and just count it out. And then once you were done with five repetitions around, then you'd be done, switch sides, do 5 on the other side. But we are going to go a little bit faster now. So not super fast, but just a little bit faster. Okay, so I'm just going to say go, and we'll throw the combination. Now, if you're a more advanced student, beginners, we're just going to stay standing like we are here. If you're a more advanced student, maybe say you're an orange belt or a green belt or one of our upper belts using this video to review the combo, then what I want you to do is to have that little bit of bouncing footwork in there, moving around a little bit. And then when you go, boom, 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 after you turn, you're bouncing again. All right. But again, for our most basic, and what I'm going to be doing is just standing nice and still. So from here, ready? And when I say go, doing that combination, cross, hook, cross, and then we turn. Ready? And set up, hands up, eyes on the target, and go. Cross, hook, cross, we turn. All right? Now we go towards the 3. Ready? And go. Cross, hook, cross, and turn. All right? Now we're going to the 6. Ready? And go. Cross, hook, cross, and we turn. And one more time. And we go. Cross, hook, cross, and we turn. And actually, this is our last time. Ready? And go. Cross, hook, cross, and we reset. Now, same drill, just going to do it from the other side. So we're going to go southpaw stance, and then we're going to work around the clock the other way. So we'll go 12, 9, 6, 3. Just the exact opposite what we did with the traditional stance. So once again, we're starting out, this time with our left hand behind us. So one time nice and slow, and then we'll go a little bit faster. So when we go, we're doing towards the 12. We go cross, step and pivot on that hook, step and pivot on the cross. Now I'm going to pull that hand, but this time my foot's swinging again behind me, but I'm going to end up turning the other way. So now I'm facing the 9, and we go again. Cross, we do the step and pivot hook, step and pivot cross. Now I swing that foot behind me, and I'm facing towards the back of the room. Once again, going to the 6 now. We go cross, step and pivot as we hook, step and pivot as we cross. Swinging that leg behind, and we're facing the 3. We go cross, step and pivot hook, step and pivot cross, rotate. Now we're facing the 12. All right, we go one more time. Cross, step and pivot hook, step and pivot cross. Shuffling you back. All right, once again, if you're doing this on your own, you would just do time or reps, whatever you want. Usually 5 or 10 reps is good. Anywhere from a minute in a row to 2 minutes would be a good time frame for training. You could definitely do longer, you could do more repetitions, but usually that's a pretty solid number and pretty solid time to get some good training in. So now, one more time with me, but going a little bit smoother, a little bit faster. So we're set up, here we go. And towards the 12, ready, go. Cross, hook, cross, turn. And once again, go. Cross, hook, cross, and we turn. Going to the 6 now, and go. Cross, hook, cross, and turn. One more time to the 3, and go. 1, 2, 3, turn. Last one to the 12, and go. Cross, hook, cross, reset. Final part of our boxing combo number 3 video here. So we are going through and adding on a little bit of WaveMaster training or punching bag. So it doesn't matter if you got a WaveMaster like this one here, or if you got a hanging bag at home. Again, this is part of the video is for people that do have one of these at home to train with. If you don't have one, you know, we always got our WaveMasters out here at the school. So, you know, if you got a chance, you can come and maybe punch on these guys a little bit. So I got my boxing gloves on. So these are just some bag gloves, so they're not real boxing gloves, but these are just a little bit of padding, so I can hit a little harder on the bag. If you are at home, it definitely is nice to have a little bit of pad on those knuckles as you're punching the bag. If you don't have it and you're just going bare knuckle hitting the bag, you're definitely going to toughen those hands up very quickly. So when we're doing this combo, again, we want to start out a little bit away. We always want to pretend like the bag is an opponent. So the WaveMaster and a punching bag doesn't have arms. So, you know, I could just stand here all day and just kind of work combos and punch it and never get attacked backwards. But I always want to imagine that, because in a real sparring match, they're always going to have those arms. So if I'm standing too close, if I can hit the bag could hit me if it did have arms. So we always want to start far enough away that I can't actually touch the bag. If I can't touch the bag, then the bag wouldn't be able to touch me. So that's part of that offense that we were working on earlier. So when I do that push step, right, that gets me in close enough that now I can hit the bag with all of my punches. Now, again, the WaveMaster does not move away, so I'm not going to do a step on every single punch, because then I'm going to end up really close and my last cross isn't really going to hit the bag very well. So when I do this, I'm only going to step in once. On that first hit, I do this step and pivot as I throw that cross, and then now I'm close enough to be able to hit all the other punches. But once I hit on that last punch, I'm going to want to escape. I want to get away from my opponent. So when I do this one, when I'm working the bag, the targets that I'm looking at is when I hit with my cross, I'm coming straight in at the bag. I'm hitting the very center of it, of the part that's facing me. Now the hook is going to hit on the side of the bag where the logo is. So I'm not going to try and hit the same spot on my hook as I did the cross. So I hit the cross in the middle in the part facing me, and then my hook, as I come through and hit, is going to be hitting more on the side of the bag, and then my cross is going to go and hit pretty much the exact same spot as the first cross. So when I do this, again, working in, I step in, I hit that cross, I'm going to then pivot, hit that hook, and then I'm going to pivot again, and I hit that final cross. And then as this hand is pulling back, I also want to do that push step back. So now again, once I'm done attacking, I'm far enough away that my opponent doesn't get a good counter punch. So once again, I move in, 1, pivot on the hook, 2, pivot on the cross, 3, and then as I pull that cross back, I exit. Then if I switch my feet, so now I got my left hand behind me, same idea. I'm going to step in, cross is going to hit the very center of the part of the bag facing me. Now my hook is going to be hitting the back side, the part that you cannot see on the video. So I'm going to pivot, hit the side of the bag over here, and then once again, I pivot, hit that final cross, and then as I pull this cross back, push step back. So again, far enough away that the bag wouldn't be able to hit me if it had those arms. So one more time, I step in, hit the cross, pivot, hit the hook, pivot, hit the cross, step out as I retract. Okay? So you could also do the clock drill on the WaveMaster. So when I'm doing this one, after I hit that last cross, 1, 2, 3, instead of stepping back away from the bag, what I would do is, as I bring this back, I would then do that pivot around, and now I'm facing the side of the bag. So then I can do the cross hook cross again, stepping in cross, hitting that hook, hitting that cross, and then I can pivot. Now I'm on the other side of the bag, and I can do it again and work all the way around the bag, all sides of it, hit, hit, step and turn, and then now I'm back where I started. So this is just teaching you how to have an opponent and how to work around the bag and still keep the attack up, all right? So obviously, when you're doing this, we always work a bag to learn how to hit a target and be strong while we do it, but to also be fast as we do it. So we wouldn't want to be going as slow as I have been going through. That's just to kind of show you the basics of it. So now do it a couple of times on each side and just kind of show you how I would really train this. So no more talking, just some punching, moving fast. So again, you could do this for reps. You could do, 10 combos on each side, 20 combos total, and that'll get you breathing pretty heavy and sweating pretty good. You could do it for time. Most of the time when we work on a bag, we usually use time, just because in real boxing matches, you're training to be able to have the energy and the stamina to make it through an entire round without gassing out and getting too tired. So we usually will put 2 minutes on the timer, maybe 3 minutes on the timer, and just work those combos for that entire 3 minutes and do as many as you can. Good technique, good movement, really get that workout in for that 3 minutes. Give yourself a 30-second break, maybe do another round. But reps, also a good way to train, but we do use time more so, especially when we're working a bag. So that is all the basics of boxing combo number 3. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Use what we did here. Lots of ways to train, lots of ways to improve that combination. So once again, thanks for training, and we'll see you on the next one.